Hello, everybody. My name is Lindsay May. Thank you so much for coming in and watching my deliberative speech on breed-specific legislatives, or BSLs. I have my friends here who are kind enough to join me. I have John and Isabel and their pup. I don't know if that counts as a person or not. I think it should. And I have my bestie down here, Jessie. Thank you for taking the time out of you guys' day and watching me do this. So, to go into a little bit of backtrack of what a breed-specific legislative is and what the purpose of this speech is we as a community fail our dogs every single day by not training them correctly, not taking the responsibility of what we should. We put bans on specific breeds and give them restrictions because of a physical characteristic. There's other policies that we could follow, but we do not, because we do not try. We don't give them the benefit of the doubt or go out and do what we should. So, a fun and crazy statistic about dog bites. 4.5 million people in the United States get bit by a dog every single year. That is crazy. And just with that statistic being said, I think it goes to show that pit bulls can't be the main cause of bites. If they were, I don't think we'd have 4 million bites per year. The most common policy in place currently is the BSL, which is the breed-specific legislative, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how this just does not work. So in 1996, Prince George County, Maryland, before they enacted this, they had 853 dog bites in that county alone. 108 were from pit bulls. It's kind of a lot, but when you think about it, that county also has over 1 million people. So that's kind of nothing, right? That's kind of nothing. 2010, they enacted the policy and it dropped by 35%. If pit bull bites were the majority of those bites, it would have dropped by a lot, right? Another reason, 1990, Winnipeg, Canada had put the enactment in. As soon as they had made it so that you cannot have pit bulls in their county, Rottweiler bites skyrocketed. So just because you make one breed not be able to go to a certain town or a certain county or a certain state doesn't mean that the bad dog owners aren't going to find dogs to do what they want them to do. You can't blame a breed or a pup for doing those things. The statistics why this policy is going into place, they make sense. You know, the fatalities are a big reason why they'll ban certain breeds or they'll put restrictions on. If you say 60% of fatalities are caused by pit bulls, I get it. You know, I totally get why you're going to say that you can't or will not allow them into your complex or your community. When you think about it, 4.5 million bites a year. Half of them are children, which is another crazy fact. If pit bulls were the main cause of bites and they were as aggressive as people say they were, don't you think we'd have more fatalities and more deaths, considering half of them are children? The policies that are put in place and the bans that follow are enacted to keep the community safe, right? So, if they're meant to keep the community safe, why do 80% of dog bites happen in our homes? They don't happen when you're at the mailbox. They don't happen when you're walking the dog. They don't happen when you're at the dog park. They happen in our homes with our family pets, not the neighbor's dog, not your aunt's dog down the street. They happen at home. Morally, BSLs are wrong. They're not good. They don't work. Sorry, I can just hear one of you guys. So anyway, I'm gonna just keep going. So how they're morally wrong, how they just don't work. So with breed-specific restrictions on pit bulls, on bully breeds, on any dog that characterizes as this type of pup, they can literally require you to wear a muzzle. They can require you to fix your dog. They can require you to wear vicious dog tags on your house, or even put a vicious dog tag on your animal for absolutely no reason other than their breed, which is crazy. That would be like looking at somebody and being like, you look like somebody that would shoot somebody. You need to wear a vest that says I'll shoot you, because they fit a characteristic. That's where it's falling into. Not very surprisingly, not a single major animal organization or any organization supports breed-specific legislatives. Geico has came out to not support it. Canine organizations have came out to not support it. Progressive, any place that you look has come out to make a point to say they do not support BSLs. The policies that are in place currently that dictate the freedom of specific breeds is to all fault of our own. You know, we as dog owners have been uneducated for far too long regarding the knowledge of our pets. Prevention that could be taken to avoid dog bites and fatalities is easy. It's a big part of keeping everybody safe. The ability to train our dogs and the willingness to do so is huge too. No matter the breed, all dogs should be trained. I don't care if you have a pit bull, a Rottweiler, what's Annie?
Like a shepherd. She might have pit bull in her, but she's mostly a shepherd hound.
Okay, she's a shepherd hound, but she has a little hot dog. Okay, it's literally like this big. It looks like a hot dog. That dog should still be trained too. And no matter the dog, the wellness of the dog, keep them from getting run over, keep them from biting somebody, no matter what. That just keeps everybody safe. The ease and accessibility we have as dog owners, we think that it's not a lot. We think that it's too hard. We think that we won't be able to do it. Literally go on Google, go on YouTube, and type in how to train my dog for dummies. And you'll do it. And you'll train your dog, believe it or not. It's not as hard as we think. A lot of people are just too lazy to figure it out ourselves. Home life and how we need to take care and account to prevent from the worst happening. Half of dog bites happen in our home. 80% of dog bites happen in our home. Half of them are from children. I get it. You're doing the dishes. You're not paying attention. Your kids are on the couch and your kid gets bit. You're going to blame the dog for that. And you can't do that because was your kid pulling on their teeth? Was your kid jumping on them? Was your dog poking its eyeballs out? What was your kid doing? You know? The most important part is just knowing your dog in general. You know, if you have an anxious or if you have a nervous dog, if it's your responsibility as a pet owner to take the charge in keeping them comfortable. If you're out in public or you're at the park, your dog will look for you to stay safe. And if you don't realize that they're uncomfortable or anxious, then they'll react the way that they feel they need to react. Avoiding risky situations in everyday lives is easy. You know, most dogs don't just randomly approach you to bite you. You're not going to walk down the street and a dog's not going to be like, I'm going to go up and bite that person for absolutely no reason at all. Approaching a dog that is alone is not a good idea. You know, whether it be behind a fence or whether it be in a dog park or whether it just be on the street somewhere. You don't know how that dog feels. You don't know if that dog's sick. You don't know if that dog doesn't like men or children or women. Just not a good idea to approach dogs that are by themselves, especially reaching over a fence to pet someone or in any situation, right? A lot of us may put ourselves in situations and then blame the dog or blame the owner, and here we are. Avoiding the clear signs the dog isn't happy is a good way to get bit too. If a dog is clearly hiding or showing signs it wants to be alone, if a dog is growling or if a dog is barking or if it's doing any of those signs, best bet is to stay away because you might get bit. It might not be feeling good if it is by itself or if it's hiding. You may need to bring it to a vet. Just use caution. You know, if your dog is randomly biting or acting out, it likely might need help, but don't blame your dog if it acts out in a way that you did not expect them to. So, with all that being said, with pet owners being a big cause of these things, horrible fatalities, casualties that could be avoided, with us not even knowing really the restrictions that are in place, it falls onto us as a community to make sure that they don't happen, to get together, to form groups to change these. So multidisciplinary and multi-professional groups are a big part in achieving new policies and growing as a community. Forming a group will not happen automatically, of course. You're going to have to tie the lines together. You're going to have to make sure other groups aren't already happening in your community, in your county, in your town, state. You're going to have to make sure you guys don't butt heads or try to kind of cross lines. Making an advisory group is a big thing too. They can post on your Snapchat, they can post on your Facebook, they can post on your Twitter to make sure that you can get people to join your group, to make sure that you go out to these rallies and go out to these public officials and speak and say what needs to be done to make new policies and change what needs to be changed. Identification and regulation of dangerous dogs need to be determined on a regular and fair basis as well. This is something that needs to be passed nationwide and statewide and be a new policy instead of just being a policy in some states. So due to what the breed-specific legislative currently involves, it poses a threat to the 14th Amendment, believe it or not. The 14th Amendment is due process and equal protection. Stereotyping one breed over something that every single breed could be capable of is causing this, which is understandable. You know, to determine if a dog is dangerous or vicious, it deserves careful evaluation, and the public health threat needs to be determined. Some municipals, judges, courts, even go to the extent of a hearing with a judge and jury to determine if this dog deserves restrictions. Again, the only way to achieve fairness for our pups is by going out and listening to our public officials, and by going out and doing something and saying something and making our voices heard. It's not right that we just allow them to say, you have a pit bull or you have a bully breed, it looks like it could hurt somebody, this one did, so yours is going to. That's not right, it's not fair. I put out a survey, we all put out a survey to kind of get the idea of what we all think on this specific breed specific legislative, on our topics. Overall, everyone kind of agreed that this doesn't work. It doesn't protect our communities. There was one person that thought that it did. That's okay. There's always going to be some people that don't agree. That's the point of these discussions, right? If we don't agree, if you don't agree, if you guys don't agree, go out, talk to your public officials, talk to who you need to talk to so that we can get these things changed and actually keep everybody safe and do what we need to do as a community. Give the people adequate training, you know, just whatever it happens to be, let's all agree on it, right? Because the one we have now does not work. Funniest part of this survey, I just wanted to share this with everybody. So I had put a question in. What breed do you think bites the most? So I just want to ask my friends here first to kind of get an idea with them too. They didn't have the survey. So what I did was I had said, what dog do you think bites the most? A pit bull, a Rottweiler, a German Shepherd, or a Chihuahua?
John says Chihuahua. I say, was German Shepherd on that list? I say German Shepherd.
Jesse, what do you say?
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Okay, so 2 people said Chihuahua, and all of you guys said Chihuahua too. And I kind of thought that was a little bit funny. I agree with you. I originally put that on as a joke, but I agree with you. So with that being said, right, why is there not a breed-specific restriction on Chihuahuas? Because we all know they like to bite. They bite our ankles, they bite our toes, they're super aggressive, you can never pet one, you can't pick them up. So why can they be in every community? Why are we not trying to do something about that? You know? So with all that being said, I think there is definitely an understanding of how the policies that surround most of our communities work, and at the end of the day, how they don't, and what we need to do as a community to change that so we can curb dog bites, so we can keep our kids safe, so we can keep our friends safe, our community safe, so that we have an equal fairness of our dogs, so we treat our dogs fairly, keep our pups safe. It's not right for our pups to be out here just being good boys and good girls and having all of these restrictions. It's just not right. So thank you everybody for listening to my speech, and everybody be safe. Remember, fun fact, dog bites occur every 37 seconds. Okay, every 37 seconds. Every minute, 2 people probably got bit. So get out there, start spreading the word, start talking to people. Let's make sure our dogs can live a safe life and a fair life that they deserve, right? Thanks, guys.